Blessed love. Another video with the priest. Black again. Thanks for the giving of thanks. Thanks for King Emmanuel love and life. Blessed love, royal family. It's kind of a little dim now. So we get some more light. There we go. Blessed love. Majesty. Yes, royal family. We're going to talk about the criminalization of marijuana in the Bahamas. It's a situation that, praise blessed love. Even I and I said, black again. I have been in a situation quite a few times with, the government about this marijuana thing, I've been arrested and charged at a very young age, placed into a court, put into a jail, and had to pay a fine. I've had my house searched multiple times by drug enforcement units. I've never really known myself to be a drug dealer, a gun dealer, coke dealer, none of these stuff. I've been targeted, in my local community, even in different countries that I visited, like America, I've seen the prejudice, when it comes to the man with the locks, the rasta man, you see. We become a common target. Now today, if you look in the description, you will find I placed the Bahamas Constitution. The Constitution of the country is, a list of laws that shows the rights and the freedoms of every citizen in that country, irregardless of, their color, their class, or, whatever belief system they have. The Constitution comes to protect every citizen. No one in a country is above the Constitution. All citizens have to abide by the Constitution of that country, unless there is an amendment in the Constitution that has to be agreed upon, governmentally. In the Constitution of the Bahamas, it states that you're free to basically practice your religion. You're free to observe your religious, services. For example, I'm a bobo shanty, so, our religious observance is Sabbath. Saturday, we keep Sabbath holy. So constitutionally, by law, no one's supposed to disturb my Sabbath because it's a constitutional right for me to observe my religious faith. Also, it says that I can, practice my religion freely without, discrimination, harassment, or hindrance. As the Constitution words, hindrance. So in the practice of bobo shanty, we smoke the herb, the marijuana herb, as a sacrament. It's a part of our spiritual, what they would classify as ritual. Various religion has their form of rituals that they go and manifest, their gods, In Rastafari, we smoke marijuana as a part of our sacramental connection to our God. We also smoke it for medicinal reasons. We also use it for various reasons and to making fabrications and anything you mostly could think of that the marijuana plant can produce a product from. The Rasta man uses it for that purpose. Now, constitutionally, the Rasta man should be free from, persecution, of any form, according to his constitutional rights. I've been on this planet for over 40 years. And I myself, along with so many people, someone right today in the Bahamas is being hindered. They're being harassed. They're being persecuted, and many sent to jail just because they burn marijuana. I know you'd be like, Bobo, everyone knows that. The thing that gets to me the most is that how does the whole Rastafari community in the Bahamas, give thanks for places like Jamaica, Antigua, there's a couple countries in the Caribbean that decriminalize the marijuana, especially for the Rasta religious rights. But right in the Bahamas, they've been promising us for years to decriminalize marijuana for our religious rights and continue to breach our constitutional rights. I have bobo shanty brethren that just pay the case off. They had to pay a fine for being captured with marijuana. in 2023 in the Bahamas. All these leaders, pastors, lawyers, doctors, all these people could simply pick up the Constitution and look at it and say they should not hinder the rasta man from observing, from practicing, his religious faith or belief. Everyone in the country is supposed to look at that and see that, yeah, they're wrong for locking up rastas for their religious belief. But no, the whole society come together and they work in cahoots and they push the agenda that the Rasta man, on this plant, and it's a drug, and even though they have a constitutional right to practice and participate using that herbs, we still gonna persecute them. We still gonna, in the in the Bahamas, you could get up to 40 years. That's a life sentence for marijuana, for plant. You could get up to 40 years of your life taken from you if you possess the right quantity of marijuana in the Bahamas. Yeah. Some of the fines range from $250,000 to $500,000. Where the average Rasta man can find $500,000 to pay the courts. A fine of $500,000 for the possession of marijuana plant. The government of Bahamas, they know just what they're doing. That's why they're taking so long to decriminalize marijuana in the Bahamas and the many countries around the world that failed to decriminalize marijuana. I don't know why Africa still have marijuana illegal. I really don't know. If they gonna allow all this all this wickedness, other nations, I don't know why they focus on marijuana. I don't know what marijuana do to Africa. There should be no country in Africa where marijuana is illegal. But pre-colonialization, this illegal marijuana act was then set in Africa from the pre-colonial leaders. And it's been continued and kept up by the puppet governments. That's why I glorify the coups that is happening in Africa right now. Because the majority of the leaders in Africa and around the world, including the Bahamas, are some older sellout people. These some people that have this America dream. They want flat screens and they want pools. They want houses and they want, real estate. They want yachts and gold, diamond jewelry. That's who these people is. This is the older generation that seek vanity and robbery and, so it's them that allowing such, foolishness. They locking up people for marijuana in Africa. We got a lot of more different things to deal with in Africa than to try to stop someone from, dealing with a plant. You see? Yeah, so right here in the Bahamas, that's what's still happening and around the world. I don't know what's up with that. I don't know what they want the people to say or what they want the people to do. First of all, it's a plant. We all know that. Scientifically, it does nothing to the body other than help it. We all know that by now. Back in the 80s and the 70s, the 60s, when they was pushing marijuana as a drug, all this stuff and make it go crazy, you didn't have a lot of scientists. You had one group of scientists, mostly European, and all them different nations other than Black, that were investigating these things and bringing out these discoveries that marijuana makes you mad and crazy. No. That was a group of mad scientists that brought that idea out. But so many intelligent, professional, educated scientists today study marijuana and its cannabinoids, that it has within its structure. It's equivalent to the cannabinoids in the human body. We naturally create cannabinoids. The plant naturally creates cannabinoids. That's called assimilation. Chemical affinity. But anyway, we ain't gonna get into all of that. I just trying to figure out, royal family, I don't know what more we need to do, to wake up the leaders. We got famine, we got high prices, for gas, food, housing. We got, lack of job opportunities. We have natural disasters, destroying the farms, destroying the livestock, everything we have. These are things they should be worried about. Not spending all these hundreds of thousands of dollars, but they know why they're doing it. Because if you could charge someone $500,000 for having possession of a plant, you could give them up to 40 years of life just for a plant. These people got to be the devil. Because first of all, who created that plant? Not them. The Bahamas government didn't create the marijuana plant. The United States government did not create the marijuana plant. No government in Africa created the marijuana plant. The marijuana plant sits among the many trillions of trees on this planet that was placed there by the Almighty Creator. So I don't even know how you could look at a plant and say the plant illegal. How could you tell humans, do not come in contact with this plant, or you would be arrested for 40 years? What kind of crap that is? Every day you go and you walk and you all these bushes around you. If you walk through the bush and you come up near to a marijuana plant in the Bahamas, and it happened to be a field and they catch you in there, they give you 40 years, $500,000 bail. Just to come near this plant. What it is about this plant they don't like. I don't, when you check the crazy ward, like the people who have bipolar, the people who have schizophrenia, depression, anxiety, those people are not on marijuana. You may have one or two people in there who used to smoke marijuana, probably still do, but the majority of them people there is not on marijuana. These normal people that have had some stress in their life that caused them to have mental problems. You see? But they still propagate, is this marijuana, and they attack the rasta man. They attack us as a religious group, as a faith, a group of people serving God. They say, these people are the rasta man, them, we can put them in jail for 40 years and charge them $500,000. We catch them with it. Breaking a constitutional right, and I don't even know what they're doing because it's God's plan. They had a war on drugs, war on marijuana, like forever. And every time they try to kill it out, they weed it up. The birds planted, the creatures, the animals, the wind, the weed just keep coming because it's a weed. Weed is the hardest thing to kill. Marijuana, it's not a weed, bun weed, but it's a herb. Herb is not easy to kill. Herb grow easily. They're strong plants by nature. You see, they're not fragile like Babylon, hybrid foods. They cabbage, broccoli. These things, bugs come and eat them. You got to put pesticide on them. You got to be monitoring them. You got to keep seeding them. The marijuana, you don't even have to keep planting that. You could set the herb down, and when she dry up, her seeds will fall in the earth and bring more trees. And birds eat the seed and carry it. They can't. These people meaning to do this. They meaning to persecute the Rasta man. And they're using the marijuana to do it. They know the Rasta man, we don't kill. They know we don't steal. We don't rape. We don't do all these wicked things. So they say we got to get them for something. So let's make this plant illegal and tell them if we catch them with it, we're going to lock them up. This is a religious warfare. The Christians is the one who in control because the Bahamas government is controlled by the Christian Council. These European Christian people, white Christian Jesus people that run in this country, they know deep in their heart marijuana is just a plant. But because of their religious warfare, they want to fight the Rasta man down. Make him look like he on drugs. Make him look like he's a criminal. From I was a youth buying marijuana, I've been treated like a criminal. But if you check my criminal record, I've never committed a crime. I've only been charged with possession of a plant that God created, that I choose to take part in because of my religious belief, my religious faith. The Bahamas government was established to be independent in 1973. My religious establishment, the Ethiopia Africa Black International Congress, was established in 1958. We've been a faith. We've been a movement burning ganja before the Bahamas even got independent. But up to the date, 2023, FNM or PLP, no matter what parliament in, Governor General, no matter, they still have the officers, the DEU, Drug Enforcement Unit, bombing down your door, boom, boom. The other day, they pulled the priest, right? The priest was parked up. I was parked up by a brethren. He was waiting on his money before Sabbath to go in. Kind of find the brethren was a wicked flesh anyhow. But you know what I mean? The brethren's waiting on the people. These feds them pull up when I yuck out the car, throw me in cuffs, yuck all my seat, break up my seat, search all my car. You mean, come on, Rasta? And while they doing, I talking to them, I say, bro, what y'all doing? Why y'all breaking up my car, bro? The officer searched me, feel me up, or gone all between my leg, you know, looking all in my butt crack, looking all around, you know. So I say, thank God I survived that. Because the brethren come like he was touching me a little too much. And I was like, bro, this Lord, these people wicked, you know, bro. They got me in cuffs, and this Lord touching all over my goodie, bro. Yeah, wicked officer, you see. Whoa. After they searched my car, this brethren let a second officer search me. They searched me twice. A second brethren come start feeling me up. I say, Rasta God, what a persecution the children of God has go through. We have to be the children of Israel. We have to be the children of God. Because we is the only people in the world that get persecuted for our faith. Christians don't get persecuted. Yeah, them around the world, I'm a Christian getting killed for being Christian. I'm Christian business in people's country. Why in the people's country disturbing them and invoking your religion on them? They have a right to burn you out. Rastas don't invoke our religion on no one. We don't invoke our faith on no one. We don't push that on no one. You choose to be a Rasta, you choose to be a Rasta. You don't, you don't. We ain't even trying to witness to you. Like, come and try, convince you. Let every man be persuaded by his own persuasion. We'll speak of Jah, you hear of Jah. If you love Jah, you come to Jah. You know, but we ain't gonna be all in your town, in your streets, making noise, you know, trying to bother you. And no, that's not Rastafari way. So, enough of them around the world getting persecuted because they bothering people. They ain't holding their corner. Why are you even going to a country that is just Muslim and you know you're a Christian? What you even doing there? Christian is a European religion. Go to Europe if you want to be a Christian, because the European religion is not a world religion. They try to make it a world religion through the Roman Catholic Church. You see, and the United Kingdom, the European Union, and NATO, they trying to make it a world religion. But Roman Catholic Church, Christianity, the white Jesus, that's not a world religion. People in the world have a right to seek God for themselves. So you could go in a Muslim nation teaching your Christianity. And then when they warm you up, you feel you persecuted. No, you put yourself in that. Now I, the Rasta man, who's sitting in our house, reading our Bible, ain't bothering no one in a Rasta. Reading our scriptures every day. We go on the road, we make a little strength, come and we smoke with ganja. They'll give us 40 years, Bobo. That's a life sentence. You all remember that? 40 years. If a Bobo get locked up, he'll go in jail for 40 judgment years. Or you have to come up with $500,000 US. Y'all could Google the laws of the Bahamas. If you caught with marijuana in the Bahamas, go check the law for yourself. Why such a harsh punishment? Because they was attacking the Rastafari community. They was trying to beat Rasta out of us. Because we know Rastafari is our king, African king. And the puppet masters, the politicians, you see, they wanted us to continue to serve Queen Elizabeth and I don't even know what to call that Charles there, because he ain't no king. I have to find a name for him. I don't know what we can call him, but he's not a king. Just straight, he's not a king. Yeah, so they want us to serve these people, these European people forever, and serve their white Jesus Roman God. We as black African people. And King Selassie of Ethiopia is the king of all the kings of Africa. We are the kings of Africa. So he's the king of all of us, the kings. Not Queen Elizabeth and not Charles. I would never call him a king because he's not a king. His name is Charles. Elizabeth the whore, her son. Yeah. Their kingdom gonna fall. Yeah, the British kingdom, them say they am the emperor, but I like it. I like it. I don't like how they deal with Ethiopia. I don't like how Europe deal with Africa. They shouldn't allow Italy to invade in the first place. Boy, Dread. But it's their day anyhow, so. World family, we just have to do what we could do. I want once and once globally, you know, if you're active in the legalization and decriminalization of marijuana, I want you to take an interest to look into the Bahamas, into our situation, if you can help and try help us to get from under this tyranny, you know, especially as the Rastafarian religious faith. You know, knowing for years, centuries to be exact, we being the children of Israel, they are now even finding in the Middle East, you know, we used to live, not those fake Jews. You know, we were scattered when the Romans came in the time of King Rehoboam. You know, I think I pronounced the name right. You know, they scattered us. We scattered all across the four corners, even into Africa. You see? Yeah, we are the real Israelites, not those people up there. The Israelis. The Bible says some people say they are Jews. They are not. They're the synagogue of Satan. They're Israelis. They're not Israelites. Israelites are Hebrews. They're from the ghetto. If you look at the origin of the word ghetto, it's a place where the Jewish people dwell, the Israelite people dwell. Yeah. Nazareth was a ghetto. Yeah, that's why they asked, can anything good come out of Nazareth, out of the ghetto. They still saying that today. Right here in my country, in Freeport, Grand Bahama. They ask you, anything good could come out the ghetto? But if you go in the ghetto in Freeport, Grand Bahama, that's where all the Rasta man live. The Rasta man live in the ghetto. The Israelites live in the ghetto. Why? Persecution. Most everybody in the ghetto smoke ganja. In my country, in Freeport, Grand Bahama, they have cameras nowhere else as concentrated as in the ghetto. They have cameras on every corner, monitoring the ghetto, monitoring Israelites, monitoring the marijuana smoking people religiously by their faith. We have to monitor them. And they'll be picking you off all day with their cameras. As you go through there for your joint, a DU officer waiting over there in the bush, the next one in the car, the next one in the camera, he calling on the phone. Yeah, car just come through, go get him, go get him. They target us like beasts. The scriptures say, they set us up and then they allow these strong ones to come and hold us, grab us, imprison us. I know what's going on. I know who the Bahamas government is. I know who I is as Israelites. I know who the ghetto people is, the poor people, the Israelites. I know who they is. Babylon get a judgment. The Bahamas government have to get a judgment. They have to come down on their knees. That's many years of persecution. I'm over 40 years old. And for 40 years, not 40 days, not 40 hours, over 40 years, the Rasta man, I've seen my own two eyes going day in, day out into the prisons for marijuana. Being charged, losing their family kicking them out, saying they on drugs, they crazy, That's persecution. That's the worst persecution a human can encounter. Your whole family, your whole community look at you as a drug addict because you read the Bible and you see Rastafari as your God. And the Rastafarian faith, we smoke ganja. So because of your faith, you start to smoke and meditate and practice your faith, which is your constitutional right. Constitution 22:1. It's your right to smoke ganja for your religious faith. But for doing that, that's how we know Selassie is the Almighty. We know Rastafari is from Solomon's throne and from David's throne. He is the man of the Bible. We know Ethiopia have the Ark of the Covenant. We know Sabbath is the day of the Lord. We know we wear in Rastafari name because when they see us with our locks and our turban, they call us Rasta. We are in Rasta name in our forehead. See our forehead? This is the Rasta man. We wearing the seal of God on our forehead. Emmanuel Charles Edward seal. We're the priest of God. We're the collective 12,000 from each tribe to make 144,000 elect saints of God. The Most High Selassie, the King of the earth. Psalms 24. I know myself, but these government people and all these politicians, all these judges, persecutors, all these years, 40 years, big grown stinking people using guns and bullying and tag teaming, because that's how police work. When the police come for you, they call all the police one time. And if you don't have a community big enough to fight them off, they can gang you, kick you, punch you down, throw you in the car. I don't care how much you say, oh, it's my religious rights. Oh, I smoke from my religion. Hey, why are you saying that they're kicking you in your face? Because there's a gang, there's a wicked team, there's an evil system. And sometimes it really makes me wonder for true how we can get rid of them. Because if they kicking and punching us, how we get rid of them? Only Jah could smite them with earthquake, plagues, like the one the other day that killed thousands, hundreds of thousands of them. We need another one of them to come in and remove them. Hurricanes, something, lightnings, something have to get rid of these people. Why are they allowed to persecute a group of people? Only one group of people in the whole world? When you're the Islam, you're free to practice Islam. When you're the Buddhist, you're free to practice Buddhism anywhere. When you're a Christian, you can practice Christianity Well, once you don't bother people, you know how they go. They like to go on street corner where they know people live and disturb people. You know, Christ never bothered people. On his journey, people follow him when he was moving through because he had a message. He didn't go picking food people, no. So real talk. Yes, royal family, when we all put it together, yeah, these people, they know what they're doing, man. Because the Christian council in the Bahamas, they's the one who say they don't approve marijuana. The Christian council. These people who having a homosexuality problem in their churches. All these sons turning into homosexuals and all their daughters turning into lesbians. Jumping up in altars in the pulpits. They sleeping up with one another, wife and all kind of things. They have a lot of problem in those churches. So I don't see how the Bahamas Christian Council could open up their mouth about marijuana. I just don't get it. You have so much homosexual problems in your community. You got gambling in your community. You have drunkenness. They have alcohol stores on every corner, and the Christian Council don't have a problem with that. You know why? Because the Roman Catholic churches drink rum. They just get drunk and rape children. Because when you're drunk, you don't know what you're doing. Drunken people make bad decisions. They crash in cars and do all kind of awful things because they're drunk. The Bible says a drunken man can't get in Zion. So why a liquor store on every corner? But the Christian Council of the Bahamas has nothing to say about that. Bunch of drunkards and rapists and homosexuals too. Right in the Christian Council. They had one brethren, one pastor, Reno Smith. I call him the name because he like friend me like I like men. I ban batty men. They had this Lord accused for marrying 2 men on the beach. But he a part of the Christian Council one time ago. I don't know if he still is. Come on, Rasta. These Christians need to back off, bro. They need to back off because they ain't saying nothing. They just a bunch of faggots. I being real, Rasta. If you have a batty man jumping up in your church and operating and functioning in your business, working to your banks, working in your courthouse, you have these homosexuals all around you, and you don't have a problem with that. When I go into the school to collect my princess little transcript, you see, so she could go further education, the receptionist says she don't like how I smell because I have herbs on me. She said, I don't like your smell. I say, woman, I don't like your smell either. Your attitude stinks. And she's a Christian. They disgusting like that. They just look at you when you buy an herb like you is a nobody, like who you is. And this woman menstrual probably was on. And she the work, got on some pad stuff up in her. You never know, because she smells stink for true. She was smelling my herb and I was smelling her stench. And this at St. George's High at Freeport, Grand Bahama. The secretary there, I don't know what her problem is. She right here smelling bubbles. She need to get her life together. You know, so too long, Rasta man. We need to stand up, man. These old homosexuals around here dissing Rasta man, calling us drug addicts, locking us up, giving us a sentence of life, $500,000, $500,000 just for smoking a judgment plant. Bobo, I agree with that. I agree with all the coups happening in Africa. That's what I agree with. You know, but a bunch of homosexuals and wicked men them putting us in jail using guns and the police force and DU and all these things just because we dealing with a plant. We don't even do this for recreation. Rasta don't smoke herb for recreation. What the hell is that? We was recreated when we accept King Emmanuel Charles Edwards. We need no more recreation. We smoke marijuana for sacrament, to hold a meditation. If you don't know what that is, that's none of your business because you're not a Rasta. We don't go around picking on, oh, what do y'all homosexual Christians get out of homosexuality? We don't ask that. So why you worrying about what has happened when we, oh, y'all so high? When y'all sleep with each other as men and men, y'all so low. You're less than dogs. You're less than animals. Animals don't even sleep with each other. You ever see a male dog and a male dog sleeping with each other? And if they do it, they probably got some freaky owners. You don't find it in nature. So the whole church promoting this homosexual folly, the Pope saying it's okay for people to be batty men and sodomite. That's who own the Christian society, all of the Sunday worshippers. They come from the Roman Catholic Church. Rasta man keeps Sabbath on Saturday. We burn, we ganja, and follow the 10 Commandments. We don't rob, we don't steal, we don't kill. We gonna feed our neighbor's wife, our neighbor's house, our neighbor's tools, and nothing belongs to our neighbors. We don't convert it because it's not ours. What belongs to us belongs to us. What belongs to you belongs to you. Ask and you shall be given. Seek and you shall be find it. That's Rasta man. 7 days a week, 6-day labor, 7-day rest. Getting no problems. But they could find us to lock us up for a plan. All this crap going on in this society. Heart disease, cancer, lupus. These people sick, dementia, Alzheimer's. They gonna have the heart to look at the Rasta man and say, marijuana is not good for you. The sickest community in the world, you know. The Christian society who eat all the pork and they're the ones with the diabetes, the high blood pressure, they got all them problems. In and out of the hospital. Taking drugs, pills every day, trying to stay alive. The Rasta man don't do medications. We don't do Babylon pills. We take the herbs, the leaves, the healing of the nation like the Bible tell us. We do everything the Bible say. The Christians don't do what the Bible say. They do what the doctors say, or what the government leaders say, or whatever they desire tell them. So if they desire to be with a man and they're already a man, they just go ahead and do that. I don't know how they figuring that out, but they need to back off. The Bahamas Christian Council, I don't hear your mouth. Y'all go focus on homosexuality in your community, in your churches. It's scornful. Go clean up your churches from homosexuals and return to the Sabbath day. Stop the sun worship. Then you're saying something. Okay, on the other hand, let's check the Fireball comment section. Much love, peace and love. Blessed Honorable Mike, Majesty. Almost natural in America, the Constitution is written on hemp paper. I heard that also. Yes, King Nazareth, give thanks for coming in. That's a good point. I think I heard that also in America. The American Constitution is written on hemp paper. These people study that they made marijuana illegal in Europe, you know. They say a group of immigrants. Who do you think these immigrants was? If you're in Europe and you're the Europe government and you're white, and the people that are migrating to your country, where you think they from? China, India, Africa? The people migrating to Europe is causing a chaos and they smoke this ganja, so we have to make it illegal. I mean, that's what I read. That's why they made weed illegal. Because the immigrants was causing a problem and they smoke it. The only immigrants to Europe is Africans, Indians, and Chinese. Because all the Europeans from Europe. So I don't know what they're talking about. So they moved this campaign that this weed now is a drug and it's affecting people's mind, making people crazy. They spread the law across the world, you know, and just start locking up people and charging them. And yeah, they look at God and say, God, I know you put that marijuana plant there, but we finna make more money off of that than you think. They start making money off the marijuana by making it illegal and starting the drug war. You know, the government take the people money, what they call tax money, taxpayers' money. The government take the people money and push it into itself. They pay themselves to be the drug unit. Seize the marijuana, sell half of the coke and keep half of the coke and sell it back on the streets. Destroy half of the guns, sell half of the guns on the streets. Destroy half of the marijuana, sell the rest on the streets. That's what the government been doing for years. And I asking y'all, there's a reason why I say that. I'm not asking y'all. I know many government people have been involved. Pinlin, Oscar Pinlin of the PLP of the Bahamas government was questioned by the DEA on drug movements. So I know that the government for years been taking part in this drug war, only seizing the drugs, selling half of the drugs, buying the other half to make it look good, and take the money from the fines. If you can't pay the fines, they give you jail time and make you go build license plate or something to help the community. And if it's a private prison, they'll send you up there to get funding so they could get payback, kickbacks. This is a big dirty system. So when you see it fall, you can cry. When you can't have your internet and your TV and your refrigerator food, in the stores and all them stuff, and your fancy clothes and your 20, 25 trucks, and when you see you can't have these things, it's because God tired. Someone have to do something. Because the people persecuting the ghetto, they persecuting the true Jews, they persecuting the real black Israelites. They brought us in slavery. That's a whole different subject. They went into Africa. There's a ship that is documented that had taken 2,000 Africans from the land of Judah in Africa. There was a land called Judah in Africa, modern day Benin, if I could remember. They renamed the land of Africa because we Israelites, we had settled in West Africa. When we ran persecution from the Middle East, we set up communities and our names in West Africa. They came and take us out, and bring us in the West and enslave us. The Roman Catholic Church under the white Jesus. And they know Christ is a black man. They know Rome has no blood lineage to the original God. They come from a cursed nation. Yeah, they didn't come from a pure bloodline. Gehazi was cursed by, and this generation cursed with leprosy. They become white throughout their generation. The only people in the world that's still white from leprosy is white people, Europeans. Yeah, they're Gehazi descendants. They're the Gentiles. They're not the Jews. So you got all these white people in the Middle East say they're Jews. Why are they so wicked and fight? The Israelis, they're not Israelites. Israelites is peaceful people. Very peaceful people. His Majesty King Selassie is the perfect example of who an Israelite is. The Bible says in the book of Amos, the Israelite and the Ethiopian is one to God. We's one people. We peaceful people. Africa has never led a conquest to conquer anybody nation. Never. Africa has always defended itself from aggressive nations throughout history. You must see these things, it's dread. So in this time, it's a bigger picture, it's a smaller picture. Bigger picture, it's the Pope and the world. It's a government running this whole wicked, evil system with democracy and all these parliaments and drug wars and marijuana illegal and rum is legal and, doctors' medication is legal, but the plants is not F and disapprove. You can't call these people name too much because YouTube will move you. But yeah, if it's not F approve, F, D, and all this stuff could approve a plan. They can't approve a plan. God approved the plan. When God said the leaves of the trees for the healing of the nation. Then the book of Genesis, Ezekiel, and the book of Revelation. God never changes talk. If you're sick, go get some leaves. Heal yourself from the trees. That's God approved. You don't need FD. You don't need their approval. They approve synthetic drugs. Look up the definition of the word synthetic. Listen to the context of the word. Synthetic. Yeah. The pills you take for pressure, You take for diabetes, you take for any condition you have in your body, a headache, whatever, aspirin, they are synthetic. Yeah, they're not from nature, they're not natural. They're synthetic, you see, so. Well, family, I want ones and ones to pray and I strengthen the Lord. The harder the battle, the sweeter the victory. Marcus Garvey said, if they put us in jail for 40 years for a righteous cause, Marcus Garvey says just like he home, because he's doing it for a cause, for a righteous cause. I would never stop smoking ganja, never stop praising Rastafari. I never lose my faith. I would never change my faith. I know who I am and I know what I believe. I know what I have faith in. And it's been working. No matter the persecution. Or your God couldn't keep you out of jail. No, because they put him in jail too. King Emmanuel Charles Edwards, just as the Black Christ 2,000 years ago. They imprison him. They hang him. I give thanks I still here. Because the people get so wicked. The government, the leaders, the doctors, the lawyers, the church pastors, all these people, they get so wicked. They would hang you like they hanged Jesus Christ, the Black Christ 2,000 years ago, even today. In Egypt, Jamaica, King Emmanuel Charles Edwards, the Black Christ returned to set up his fifth kingdom. So we pray Jah, he keep us through the persecution. Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, they was cast into the fire, same said way. Daniel was thrown in a lion den, Yeah, that's what they kind of just do to I and I. Joseph, for believing he was sold as a slave. When you believe in God, when you believe in the truth, we live in a world that is full of sin. If you really look around, the world is not too holy. It's sinful. Bunch of people thieving and doing all kind of, even the government, the leaders, the people, pastors and doctors and lawyers, even some of the priests, some of the prophets, some of the people that you look up to the most, they be doing the wickedest things. So the world is a wicked place. It is. So I and I, who love Jah, we love righteousness. We suffer these persecutions for so many years. Today, I don't even know how it is to live free. Only through Christ set my heart free. But, enough time I be in my gates with my ganja, I maybe even have a giant. Someone knock on the door, I'm wondering who that is. Is that the feds? Is that the police? Is that the DU? They come in to put me away for 40 years, charge me a bunch of money I don't have. You all see the photo I used for the video, right? That's the Bahamas prison. The prison don't look like the prison in America and in Europe and these different places. Our prison is a hellhole. They use buckets to urinate and stooling. And they have to keep them in there. And they just have 3, 4, 5 people in them cell. No air condition, no screen on the windows. So mosquitoes, sunflies, rats, centipedes, anything could crawl in the cell. While you're in there, brethrens, bustle and gangs and fighting and, people lose their life in those things. You go to jail for just a joint for smoking and you end up in there in a crossfire and end up dead in jail and just gone there for a joint. You have a lot of youths just gone there for a spliff and older men rape them and they on the streets destroyed, walking the road crazy. Nobody know why. Sent to jail for one marijuana joint. But they was raped in jail, oftentimes by officers. Death to Babylon, 1 hour. Whatever atrocity happened to Babylon, it have to. A tsunami, hundreds of thousands of people, 2 million, 3, 5, 10 million people die. That'll be better off. Sorry to say that. It'll be better off because then we have a better population to work with. I see what Babylon trying to do. They're trying to cut us down so they could deal with us. So, the Almighty God gonna have to beat them to the deal. God gonna have to cut down all these wicked first before they get rid of us, the righteous. Because these people willing to go move to space. They don't even want to save this planet no more. They so wicked in their heart. They just want to take everything and go to space and they live on the moon or some star or something like that. These people disgusting. And these the leaders, these religious leaders, waiting to die to go to heaven. And they have their own communities and things suffering as they eat up the wealth and tell the people when you die, you go into heaven. But give me all your money. Give me everything you got. And when you die, come on, man. Something have to happen. I've had people I've lost in my personal life by different means. And it did hurt a bit. I can't pretend. Especially some of the first events, over the years. Over the years, my heart get a bit stronger to deal with it. But it did hurt me to see a lot of my close people pass away. But in this judgment, my heart getting cold. I wouldn't say cold. My heart getting strong. It come like millions of people could die right now, and it wouldn't really bother me because I know the purpose for. Yeah, the innocent and the little meek, the little small group of people in the world that ain't bothering no one, they being persecuted. They being taken advantage of by the big, aggressive, multi-corporation, military, and all these things. These people getting taken advantage of. So some natural disaster, some balance have to come. Outside of that, then it ain't no God. It's just a wicked creation. And the Bible says only a fool say in his heart there's no God. You see, they corrupt. I ain't corrupt. I know it's a God, bro. So there have to be a justice. Yeah, whether by earthquake, lightning, thunder, volcano, war, heart attack, plague, disease, from the beasts of the field, tsunami, tornado, something have to bring a balance to the earth to pull the wicked people down. And I pray, Jah, nature knows the balance, know just who to get rid of, because, I don't want the innocent to die. I don't want the innocent to pass away in this judgment. People who are nice, who kind, considerate, they understanding. They're not bigot and brutal and, control and all these different things. Oppressive, Yeah, I don't want them to get hurt. But all the rest of the people, because they wouldn't change, get them a judgment. Yeah, that's how I see it, because they wouldn't change. 40 years and you still persecuting me for a plant? 40 years? I still going to jail for a plant? That don't make sense to say it's a drug. And you selling drugs every day to your drugstore, at your pharmacy, at your medical corporations? That's ridiculous. So whatever happened to the white, to these companies, to the people who own them, the people who support them, the people who are involved with them, I draw the line. The Revelation say who is filthy, let him be filthy still. I don't think we need to be too much more witnessing and trying to convince people, because these big grown-ups, man, 40 years, bro. And way before this been happening. From the 17th century, the evil white world been treating black people like dogs, like nobody, worse than dogs. I take that back, because the evil white people love dogs. They just kiss them and sleep with them and have relationship with dogs, canine dogs. European people do that. It's called bestiality. They love it. Beauty and the Beast. Little white Annabelle and her big dog. Shucks, man. It's so tired of them, bro. Ja, that's the far right. Peace and love, Royal family.